And good morning, second grade. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday. So, today I'm going to read I think it's a really cool book. I really enjoy it. And we have to talk a little bit about some of the ideas in the book because we would have talked about some of this in class before I read the book. No reason not to do it now. As you know, later this year, the United States will have an election, and we will elect everybody from the president to the senators to state officials, governors, mayors, town council, all these positions. We will go in and we will vote for who we think should do the job. And from your perspective, I'm sure it seems like elections sure get people talking a lot, and sometimes it really kind of gets people really worked up. But there's more to elections than adults arguing with each other over who's going to do what. So today, I'm not talking about who should do a job or what issues we're going to deal with. I'm going to talk about just some of the basic mechanics of the job at the presidential level. The president is effectively the head of state for our country. The president works with the Supreme Court, who makes sure the laws are constitutional, and works with the Congress, who actually pass the laws, and then the president enacts the laws. So the president can't do it all by themselves. So one of the things in this book, it mentions secretaries. Now, they are almost as important as Mrs. Russell, the school secretary, but she works really hard and does a lot more than you think she does. But what secretaries do is they are given a department, and they make sure that everything runs smoothly in that department. The Secretary of Energy makes sure that our power plants and our infrastructure is a fancy word meaning all the things you need to make it work, like wires and power poles and generating stations and resources. Or the Secretary of the Interior tries to make sure that everything is running smoothly for all the things that happen inside America. So we have to look out for things like, make sure that our lands are being properly cared for and taken care of. We have to make sure that, everything is working fine. The Secretary of State helps deal with other countries. So when the character in the book mentions secretaries, just understand that these are people who kind of keep things running smoothly. The character in the book I think you'll figure it out by the time we get to the end of the book, okay? But as of right now, when I'm recording this, we have not yet elected a female president. But there's nothing in the law that says we cannot. So keep dreaming big. Keep dreaming big. I would love to see the day where we have somebody either, from the Crow or the Cheyenne or the Lakota, or a Native American president would be really, really kind of a historical power. It'd just be cool, okay? But today we're going to read Madam President by Lane Smith. Lane Smith is one of my favorite authors. I absolutely love Lane Smith. And not just because I had to do a whole unit on him in college, okay? All right. Madam President. So if you're going to imagine big. It's written and illustrated by Lane Smith. Let's begin. A president has many duties. There are there are executive orders to give, daily briefs to review, and lunch to approve. Photo ops to be shot. And babies to kiss. Treaties to negotiate. That page is hard to get the whole thing over. Dog and cat. The president. Okay. And state funerals to attend. The tombstone says Froggy. A president must choose a capable cabinet. The cabinet is the group of secretaries that keep everything running. So, let's see, we have the Secretary of State, Secretary of the Treasury, we have the Secretary of Agriculture, down here we have the, whoops, I'm going the wrong way. We have the Secretary of Naps, the Secretary of Soccer, the Secretary of the Secretary of Birds Who Got Out of Their Cage, the Secretary of Education. We have the Secretary of Health, the Secretary of Undersea Exploration, the Secretary of Dance, the Secretary of Secretaries, the Secretary of the Interior, the Secretary of Fantasy, the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of Pizza. That's an important one. You really want to make sure your pizza is in good shape. And, of course, the Secretary of Energy. As you can see, our main character has a lot of imagination. As president, it is important. Commander-in-Chief, head of state, fearless leader, chief executive, head honcho, big cheese. Why? The president is the most important person in the whole wide world. And also the most humble. The president must be protected at all times. Okay, so, oops, right over here, we've got our secret agent. And yes, it is a cat in sunglasses. A president must be a diplomat, which is somebody who tries to keep good relations with other people. Which is why I am not commenting on that hat. A president has her own theme song. The president's march that they play when the president comes in is called Hail to the Chief. But she's kind of written some of her own lyrics. Hail to the chief we have chosen for the nation. Hail to the chief, the most awesome one of all. Hail to the chief and her administration. Hail to the chief from the mountain to the mall. A president has special privileges. Presidents do have the ability to, Congress sends laws to the president to sign. The president can either sign the law or decide that they don't want to sign the law, and that is called a veto. So, president has special privileges. Today's special, tuna casserole. Veto. Little House on the Prairie, the musical in the auditorium. Are you kidding? Veto. Veto, 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 veto. It's exhausting. A president must tackle press conferences gracefully. Oral reports today. That's top secret. No comment. I'll get back to you on that. I won't dignify that question with a response. Come on, Tiffany, get real. No comment. Let me think about that. I know you are, but what am I? Next question. No comment. A president must keep the peace. We notice these guys are playing keep away with the globe. The president returns the globe to where it belongs. Flags all around. Even at day's end, the president's work is never done. There's a top secret for her, eyes only, high priority communication on the bulletin board. A disaster! Wow! A president must show she can keep her head in a crisis. Oh my. It's much worse than I thought. A disaster area if I ever saw one. A president has to lead by example, even if it means cleaning her own room. It's a pretty messy room. Disaster contained. The nation is at rest. What's that? The ambassador from Fredonia is here. He can see the vice president. Sometimes a president just gets pooped. And that's the end of Madam President. So, what do you think? I'm going to ask 2 questions today. Oh my, the last 2 questions you're going to have to write in your notebook before you give it back to me tomorrow or Friday. So I'm looking forward to reading the answers. First question. Does she kind of let her imagination about the power she has go to her head? Or is she fine? No right answer. You just tell me what you think. Also, do you think that she's looking only at... Is she taking it seriously? Is she taking the possibility of someday being president seriously? I know she's a kid. I think she's supposed to be about your age. So that's, there's a lot to learn. However, I don't see any reason why any of the second grade that I have taught couldn't one day hold office, be a president, a governor, a mayor, hold elected office with the tribe. All of you are really, really good students. You got good heads on your shoulders. Now, as we go forward in the real world with real elections in the fall, we're going to go back to the part where the grown-ups yell at each other and have all kinds of big decisions. And I hope for everyone that all of that is done with the perspective that at the end of the day, no matter who wins, that we're still friends after the election. We might yell at each other a little bit before, but after the election, I think we can still be, friends, okay? I know students really, really do want to listen to what their parents tell them, and that's what you should do, okay? So, second grade, it has been a pleasure reading books for you and giving you questions to answer. Going forward, I'm just going to read some books to you. So we'll have a little bit of fun. In fact, tomorrow I'm doing one more Lane Smith book, John, Paul, Ben, and George. And it is funny. And we'll talk about that one too. So, have a good day. As the year goes forward, don't let grown-ups yelling at each other upset you, okay? Someday you'll be a grown-up and you might be yelling at someone else because you disagree, but don't let it decide who you can be friends with and who you can't be friends with. You can be friends with people you disagree with. It's not hard. All right. Again, if you safely can, get some exercise and some sunshine. If you are stuck inside, just try to stay healthy, stay safe, and hopefully I will see you either Thursday or Friday, some of you at the Billings pickup point, and I'll collect your homework, and then we'll have a little look at it and see how well you've been doing. I have a feeling that my second grade has been doing a really good job. So I hope so. Have a good day.